Welcome to MBA Mental Boost. This is your coach, Dr. Rosie, and today I'm talking about clearing the BS. So specifically in this episode, I'm going to be looking at those beliefs, the stories that we hold that are getting in our way. So something that I often talk to clients about is we've got to dive into where we're holding ourselves back. We've got to look at the negative consequences of where we want to go, because that can be where the real magic lies. Yeah, you have a goal, you've got a vision, you're not quite where you want to be maybe, and you feel that physically this isn't an issue. So there's something happening that's a mental barrier to taking that action, to moving the needle, to getting where you want to go. And yes, of course, there are so many things completely out of your control, but there are going to be this kind of like mental baggage. You know, think of it as like mental bricks that are holding us back. And sometimes it can be because we have this notion in our head of the negative consequences of what might happen if we were to actually get what we wanted. So it might be, you know, you're going to make maybe a lot more money than you're on at the moment. And so your brain might go to, well, people are going to want to take that money from us. We're going to lose that money. Maybe people are going to judge us. Maybe I'm going to make my friends feel bad because they're not making as much as I am. And therefore, we kind of keep ourselves stuck because our brain's like, yeah, it's better if we just stay here, because if we actually get to that next level, you know, all of this like crappy stuff is going to happen and it's really negative. Now, the thing is, we often don't let our mind go this side. And I've had this conversation with clients before where, you know, I encourage us to dive into the dark side. And the feedback that comes back is, oh, but I don't really want to do that, because aren't we always meant to think positively? And it's like, you know, I'm a really positive person, and you can hear this in my episodes, but we don't have to like kind of force ourselves to always be in the positive and push away the negative, because actually all we're doing is just pushing it down. It's still there, and if anything, it's going to weigh on us more because we're just pushing it down, adding more things to it, adding more beliefs and stories and negative consequences, but we're not facing them. We're just going to push them deep down. The thing is, when we start to face this kind of darker side, like shadow side, yeah, it's going to feel heavy at first, but you know that when you're working through it, you're clearing it out. So think of clearing out the BS. This is going to be a weird analogy. It's like an enema, an enema for your mind. That's probably not an image that you wanted in the morning or whenever you're listening to this episode. But it is, you know, if we could dive into this stuff, then we can release it. Then we can move forward and we can take action to move us to where we want to get to. So I want you today to start thinking about, what is that vision that you have? What does next level look like for you? Then let your mind go to, okay, what negative stuff comes up for me there? Is it the kind of, the judgment? You know, if you start to get more followers on social media, does your brain go to more followers equals more trolls? Is there a fear of, making other people feel bad because they might not be at the level that you're at? Whatever it is, you know, just let your mind go. Grab a journal, sit with it, you know, give yourself some space. This isn't something to kind of do when you've got distractions around you or noise or whatever it is. You need quiet space. You need time to go through this, and you need time to kind of process it, because to begin with, it's gonna feel heavy. It might feel a bit crappy, but know that by doing this, you can clear it out. So then I want you to look at, you know, where does this sort of stem from? Is it that you feel like you're not deserving, or you're not enough, or someone like you can't be at the level that you want to get to? Whatever it is, then we don't just uncover it and kind of sit with it. We do something about it. So you've heard me talk about reframing. Then you can look at reframing that, you know, telling yourself, I am deserving of this. I am worthy. I'm putting in the effort. I have a great support network. Whatever it is, I'm ready to level up. And so then you can release that stuff out. You clear the BS, you release it. Then you bring back how you can take control. So you take that inspired action to move through this. You keep that momentum going. Now, the thing is, this isn't a one and done. I probably say this in every single episode about consistency, but you constantly do this. So yeah, that first time is probably going to be massive. You've got all these different things that are probably going to start bubbling up to the surface. And over the next few days, you might notice more and more because your brain's now starting to open to it. But then you keep doing it. So you just have it's almost like you've had a blitz of your house, like a massive, maybe your house was like chaotic. There was clothes everywhere. I'm speaking from experience. Now you've had like a whole day where you've like just done a big, deep clean of the house. You've tidied, everything's looking amazing, but you've now got to keep on top of it. So little and often. So when you're journaling, maybe you're starting to notice more like, oh, okay, this belief's here. I'm holding on to this story that happened from childhood or whatever it is. Oh, this negative consequence just popped up. If I were to next level, this might happen. It's like, okay, cool. I'm going to clear it out. I'm going to remind myself that I get to be in control. I'm going to reframe it. And what's that next step that I'm going to take that's going to be in that energy of that person that I want to be? There's a few episodes I've done now around energy. But that's it. We get to notice it. We get to clear it out. So you bring it to the surface, you clear it out, you release it, and then you take action to move forward. And I mean, I've made it sound simple. It is in some ways, but this is deep. It's profound. So if you want any support around this, have someone that can kind of guide you through this process, support you, nurture you through it, drop me a DM. This is what I do. But I would love to hear what comes up for you when you think about what potential negative consequences you might have associated with that next level for you. This is deep stuff. It's really incredible work. It's a game changer. And I hope that whatever you're doing today, you have a good one. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of MBA Mental Boost, the secret weapon to supercharging your performance on the court. If you found today's episode useful, don't forget to subscribe and share. You can connect with me over on any social platform. You can find me at Dr Rosie Mead. Until next time, go out there and dominate using the power of your mind. This is Dr Rosie, signing off.